I need more time for that.
Hey folks, this is Shula bringing you a Path of Exile 2 build. This one has been pretty fun to play, and I've been build crafting, theory crafting this one since I saw the patch notes. I saw that one of my favorite uniques was getting a buff, which is this one. Herald skills deal between 50 and 100% increased damage, right? So I had to build something around that, and this is the result of that. Essentially, the core interaction is we go around using Ren, just like left clicking with our basics attack. The build will do the rest, you know, and we are gonna be triggering the free of the heralds in this case, right? When we use Ren, we turn some of the damage to cold. This cold damage will proc Herald of Ice, right? Then we use Pounce and also Devour, but Pounce mainly for triggering Herald of Thunder, right, through Charge Mark. And then when we sufficiently overkill any enemy with non-Herald attacks, we get Herald of Ash, right? So the free heralds proc all the time, as you saw on the gameplay showcase of the build, right? So we mostly use this for attacks. As you can see, we have no lack of damage. Where the build can be really improved is on the survivability, right? I'm still working on it. Probably may have an update of this build with some more survivability. Essentially, I'm leaning into Bark Skin. It's pretty good actually. I saw this before starting playing, and I said, yeah, I had to try this as well, and it has not disappointed. There are a couple of other things. I get armor, for instance, for every rage point on the skill tree, right? But mainly is Bark Skin coupled with Salt Tether. And essentially what this does is just replenishing my energy shield, and every time I lose energy shield, I get armor back, right? So I get like no, it's not an infinite loop, right? But small hits are not a concern for this build. What are a concern, as you can see, if life and energy shield are very low, is one hit, right? Especially against bosses, where this is where the build struggles. But for everything else, it clears pretty fast. We're now gonna go through some of the skill gems. Like I said, we are using Rend with rapid attacks, Betrayer's Vengeance, Bitter. This is very important to turn, like I said, to turn some of the damage to cold. So we proc Herald of Ice. Armor Break. This is not required. I like it because it breaks armor. When it breaks armor, I get an endurance charge, and when I get an endurance charge, I have this here, right? So 20% more of defense almost freely is a pretty huge boon. So life leech important again because of this. I have this on my secondary attack. This is mainly for bosses, you know. I only need like stun. I need to build stun up so I can stun the boss that is prime for stun, so I get a power charge, you know, and then I can finish it off, right? It's part of the. It's only against bosses, right? I already explained the heralds, right? One thing to notice is that I don't have enough strength for Herald of Ash, right? Probably if you have like an Astramentis, you know, or like a very good gear with a lot of attributes, you can probably get the three of them. But I chose to go with Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice since I think they are the most powerful right now. So actually what I meant to say with this is that the gems that I put here, they don't matter, right? Because for actually using the gems that you put into the heralds, you need to be able to have the stats required for them, right? So in case that you do reach here, magnify area, of course, everything on the build requires more area of effect for attacks, for mainly for attacks, right? But swift affliction as well, coupled with prolonged duration, right? And then you can put here something like fire mastery, you know, to get more levels on Herald of Ash. Then again, magnify area, more damage. Here, same deal, magnify area, more damage, and lightning mastery as well here. Bard skin, as I said, this one is one of our defensive layers, it's pretty good. Trinity, this is the big boost on damage, especially for everything related to these free skills. As you saw, there is no lack of damage. Pounds, very important, moving around the battlefield as well, to apply this charge mark and to get the power charges, right? If you didn't know, you probably already know about this. You get power charges with these two, right? And then cooldown recovery to actually cast it more often. I just realizing that this one is one. I can probably upgrade this gem, you know, but the build is working well. So Flame Breath, this is only for bosses or for a pesky like yellow mini boss or a rare enemy, but honestly, it is not like completely necessary. With your hits, you often there is no need for Flame Breath against rare enemies. Devour, very important. As you can see, every time that you can devour, you should, right? This will achieve two things. First, it's gonna like fill your energy shield, and also it's gonna give you a power charge, and it's gonna give you also some lightning damage, right? These are the gems for this. Wind Blast, like I said, this is for bosses only. This one is good because sometimes it gives me some endurance charge as well. Wolfpack, this is not required, but something nice to have. More survivability, of course. This is good. This one, I've been testing it, not 100% sold into it, right? But I kind of like the things that it does, you know, some of the bonuses that I get from this. So it's good. Staying there for now. And Blind plus Infernal Legion. This is important, so you get this more often, right? Charge regulation, I already explained the importance of this. We are gonna mostly be using the first two, power charge and endurance charge. We don't have any reliable way of generating frenzy charges. There might be a way. I've been exploring it, but I haven't gotten to actually implement it. So more critical chance while you have a power charge. This is up 100% of the time, and 19% more defensive while you have an endurance charge. This is left often, but I'm able to get it sometimes. This is very important as well because it also increases our armor because of what I said on the skill tree. And we have this as well. So these are the gems. There could be some improvements here that they can be made, but for now the build works. Like I said, only really struggles against bosses, so that was my focus this last week, trying to improve that. We're gonna move into gear now. Honestly, what I'm trying to build here is budget friendly. So for instance, this armor only costs 1 divine. Even it should be even less now because I bought this like 5 or 6 days into the league, you know. So this one was pretty cheap as well. Nothing fancy here. You should top up your resistances and try to get as much armor and energy shield possible. This one was a lucky drop. Honestly, don't even try to do something like this because I got really lucky. But essentially has everything that I need. It's increased area effect for attacks. That means all the heralds plus Ren, which is exactly what we use to attack. Increase armor. 99% of extra lightning damage and 12% of extra fire damage. Again, we have here elemental damage, and this is very good. Honestly, I'm not sure if I could have gotten any ring that is better than this. Here is where it gets interesting. You'll probably need here the free kind of elemental damage when it adds fire damage, adds cold damage, and adds lightning damage. So between your two rings, you should be aiming to do that, right? So this is really the ring that you should be taking a look in order to do this build. Really, the most expensive piece of gear is this one, maybe. Mostly because allocating coming Calamity, it is expensive. I'm not sure how the materials are right now, but at the moment it took me like 5 divines to just allocate it, then another 5 divines for the amulet, so this amulet is like around 10-11 divines. But that is the most expensive piece of gear. Honestly, like I said, you can probably do this on a cheaper budget, right? But it is cheap on itself. The weapon is very cheap, by the way. The only thing that you really need is like the free elemental damage, the 5 to level attack of all attack skills, right? This is very important to get, and the increased attack speed. I can probably include a quick guide on how to craft this. I don't want to do this on this video because it's going to be way longer than expected, but essentially get the free elements there, get 5 level of attack skills, and then get the attack speed, right? This is like pretty deterministic to get, and the only thing that remains could be an increased stun duration. I got like a pretty low roll, but honestly that is not too much important. The other 5 stats are more important. Again, here get elemental damage, 2 attacks on the gloves, get attack speed as much as possible, both in the gloves and here as well, right? This one is it's very cheap on the market, you know, but it has the drawback of losing like 5% of energy shield per second, you know. Through the corruption and the bad cultivation, I was able to get that out of there, you know, and I got a pretty good belt, you know. But if you are on a tight budget, don't worry. You can get that you lose 5% of energy shield per second, you know. The build will work with that, you know, because you get life lead faster, you know. You get life lead to always be topping up your energy shield. But if you can get this, it's a nice quality of life improvement, you know. Not required, but very good. Nothing fancy here as well. Resistances, movement speed. Like I said, the idea is to build this on the cheapest way possible. On my second weapon, I have the boss weapon, you know. The most important thing is causing increasing stun build up. So yeah, that is essentially it. Like I said, on the gear, nothing too crazy, you know. I think you can get all of this by, I don't know, 9 divines, 10 divines if you want to do it. And if you are willing to search and snipe items and in the market, you probably can do it for lower than that, right? Moving on to the skill tree, there might be some improvements here I can make. It's important that you get this. Honestly, again, I saw this on the live stream, or I don't remember if it was in the patch notes, but it was crazy to me. Very, very good notable here. The other thing that we're getting is well, this is not required. I was trying something with Crown of Ice, you know, but if I replace the helmet, I get 2 low survivability because this gives me a lot of energy shield and armor. Every time that I get some small energy shield, it's very good because of bar skin, you know. So that kind of defensive layer, you lose energy shield, you recover it through this, you know, and then you get free armor. Essentially, is very important for the survivability of the build, right? Coming back to this, Essentially, you can change this to here. You know, I should be doing that right now, actually. So this is not correct. Let me actually do it so there's no confusions. This is another of the most important defensive layer, coupled with a couple of points on the skill tree. This will give you a lot of defensive layers and reduction of damage. And then nothing too crazy here. We should go all the way up until here, you know. And then when we switch weapons, there are a couple of other things that we do, but essentially get this extra lightning damage, get here and get here. This is also important to get. This one is also very good. Every 10 rage you get 12% increased physical damage, and you get something similar around here because you have more maximum rage, and then you have this as well, right? Every rage also grants 1% increased armor. So actually rage is not only a source of attack of damage, it's also a source of defensive layers as well. But mainly what you need to look on the skill tree are things like this: increased area of effect if you kill recently, or increased area effect for attacks. You have this splash damage as well, you know, and you have more attack area damage here at area of effect for attacks. All of these plus defensive layers like this one, you know, all of these you need to get because it's very important for the build to get as much area attack as possible, you know. Remember that attack is not only your rend but also your heralds. Every time a herald is proccing, you know, you get more area of effect, and you see here attack. So if you get area of effect for attacks, you get like very big AoE of the heralds, you know. So that is essentially one of the core interactions of the build. Coming back here, as you saw, the allocation for the amulet should be this one. You get a lot of damage from this single node, right? There are other nodes that are interesting, mostly around here. Yeah, that one is good, but it's not that important. This one is important, and this one is important as well. I wasn't able to get it. I may be missing some levels, you know. Probably can get here if I distribute better the points, you know, but this is also very good to get. And this one is very, very good to get as well, right? So that will be mostly it for this build. And yeah, I'm gonna leave a POV link as well in the description of the video if you guys want to take a look at the details. But essentially, the build just exploits herald and attack, area of attack, as much as possible, and the defensive layer could be very improved, right? But yeah, remember when they say like the best defense is a very good offense? Well, this build incarnates that. Alright guys, that was it. Thank you for watching.